Alright, we're back with Rogue Trader. We're going to get the SOBs that threw us in the incinerator, tried to kill us. Probably to claim whatever riches this guy had. And we're going to go put the kibosh on that nonsense. So let's move on to the next area. And hopefully get closer to taking out the greedy pieces of crap.
Rise to the top, or get...
Ah, this area.
Let us not dawdle.
As soon as you appear, a dozen eyes and guns shift in your directions. The guests of the ceremony no longer pretend to be peaceful mourners. They are, however, stunned to see you. I don't believe it. You had the nerve to come back after you tumbled through the flames? Listen, Dagon, I hate you, you hate me, but maybe we can set aside our differences for the sake of our mutual target, so to speak. The man nods at you and narrows his eyes ominously. Finally, boy, you're showing some signs of being your father's son. Dads would never beat around the bush with rivals. Shoot their head off and be done with it. Anyway, I accept your proposal. He aims his weapon at you. We've tried killing you quietly. That didn't work, so we'll just kill you, plain and simple. This is for Footfall, for throne's sake. Bye-bye, Fidelio. Again, people wanting to kill me without saying why. We don't care. Come now, Dig. Let's give the lady an explanation before her death. You see, Mistress Fidelio, my late father, Den's demons taken, Bellardo, has bequeathed his entire fortune to you, not to me, his only son, not to his first mate, you. So where does that leave us? You must die. Not sure quite how to explain it, but I'm actually not Fidelio. Anyone would say that looking down the barrel of a dozen guns. Oh well, let's get this over with, I suppose. You guys are probably going to regret this, just saying.
Run, fools! Or fall!
The Emperor is with us!
I mean, you guys are tech-based, right? Why are you kind of hanging back for now? Let's put you... here. Let's put you... Try to keep doing as much cover as I can. You are going to come here. You're going to flank this side. That's
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. The order is contrary to dogmatic protocols. The scriptural prognosis is favorable.
this will do.
My vow is to serve.
You were a
I've
terrible
suffered
shot.
worse.
All right.
Faith without deeds is worthless. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. As the Emperor commands, I act. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. Faith without deeds is worthless.
My ears are ringing.
Imperium!
Holy shit, that hurt. I gotta take him out.
How dare you!
Alright, who's that fucking sniper? Can I long shot you from here?
I'll make it happen. I'll see to it personally. Who if not me?
Oh, I see you. You can go. Bye-bye.
I've faced worse than this.
High momentum.
Will do. Was that you? Or... But of course.
You got a shot?
Here's my perfect moment.
Wow. That kind of fucked me over.
On it. I'll make it happen. Another enemy down.
Yeah, that one kind of sucked.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
That large hurt bad. There's that guy.
The scriptural prognosis is fate. Request approved. I separate you, machine spirits. My vow is to serve. Request approved.
Time to prove my mettle.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
I'm not the enemy.
I'll do it.
Take up defense over the body of the fallen unit.
God bless us. Or hell, rather.
I'll see to it personally. Your end was inevitable.
Not the Scryer's job.
Where is he?
What is this foreboding? No can do. Will do. Farewell.
How do I feel?
I'm not so sure.
High momentum.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Power resides in the will of the righteous. I'll do it. Each strike is a prayer.
You don't frighten me. Another enemy down.
I know what is to come.
Step aside. The navigator is coming.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Dagnus' bloody face. It hurts. The crematorium is going to have his hands full today. You stop shooting. Oh no, Dad. Wonderful. This is a funeral Dens would be proud of. Finishing balls.
You never stood a chance. Your end was inevitable.
Crying out in fear, the girl runs away. Are we done with the firing squads? I would like to finally resolve the matter of Dan's inheritance, and after that give him a proper send-off. So according to the deceased will, all Bellator's fortune goes to not his worthless son Kaz, not his brainless maid Dagon, but Fidelio, mysterious new heir. However, I believe a certain party would like to intervene in this process. I still have a question. Who, in the name of the Golden Throne, is Fidelio? If Fidelio were here, if they were to know about their status as the heir, they would have made themselves known by now. And if it's not you, ma'am, then I suppose we'll never know the truth, but we can make our own truth, can't we? We're on Footfall. Names and ideas are traded and used here in every way imaginable, and so are all that remains is to recognize you as Fidelio. Then so be it. I have Fidelio and the inheritance is mine. As it is written in the will, so be it. I will see the formalities and make sure you receive all the deeds to the property. I'd like to say goodbye to my old friend. The crematorium is a bit wrecked now. But who needs a crematorium? Dens loved having his enemies drenched in promethium and burned. Didn't they call him Jerry? They didn't call him Jerry Can Dens for nothing. I think it'd be a nice gesture to send him away in the same fashion. Thankfully, it's easy enough to procure a Jerry Can of promethium and Footfall. Bidding. Want to stay and watch? With pleasure. Well, let's get started, I guess. There was no good place to start that, but I shouldn't have started him right out in the middle of it. That was a dumb idea. I don't know, he didn't even get a turn on the first round if he got stunned and I missed it. But at least he's not dead. Broken ribs. Did she hear that?
How may I serve the dynasty? Don't squirm.
Careful now.
Okay.
I'll warn you if I hear anything.
Oh, he's up there. What is this? The sight of this cogitator will be enough to break any tech priest's heart. The machine is leaning slightly to one side, grimy, covered in scrawled drawings with frivolous writing scratched here and there on the casing. Several keys are missing and the rest are coated with dust. The right of operation has been repeatedly and blasphemously violated. Requesting the identification and punishment of the deplorable acolyte entrusted with caring for the spirit of this machine. After a series of creasing groans, the cogitator's dusty screen lights up. On it are several lines of text, section headings. Praise the Omnissiah. The machine spirit of this cogitator is aggrieved but willing to serve. Let's read welcome. In the name of the founder of Footfall Station, Conqueror Stars, builder of outposts, the noblest rogue trader, Parsimus Dwayne, and on behalf of all his descendants, I welcome you. This cogitator was installed on the order of the illustrious Parsimus so that the needy may tap into the flow of his wisdom. Cast your eyes upon the list of sections and choose what you wish to know. Parsimus Dwayne? I've never heard of such a rogue trader house. Whoever this Parsimus was, he sure thought big. Lord Captain Parsimus Dwayne, one of the trailblazers of the Cronus Expanse and the station's founders. I've read about his great deeds. Lord Dwayne was once a colonel of the Astra Militarum, but by his will later inherited a warrant. He accumulated enough power to gather a small fleet of loyal allies and venture out to conquer the Cronus Expanse. They say Footfall was meant to be his personal palace world, but the construction dragged on for decades, and Lord Parsimus eventually died of old age. His enemies instantly tore Footfall to pieces and turned into the bastion of humanity we know today, one that is full of bandits, privateers, hustlers, and rogue traders. Please with yourself, Cassie and I slow to let everyone know that the lecture is over. The section about Footfall. Footfall Station has been envisioned by the great posthumous Dwayne as a palace in the stars, as majestic as the spirit and mind of its creator. As of the year of this cogitator's installation, merely a small fraction of the great posthumous designs has yet been made to reality, but already their audacity and grandeur are staggering. Footfall is to become the gateway to the savage and barely explored Chronix expanse, a foothold for future conquests by the Imperium and the noble posthumous Dwayne, who acts by the Emperor's will. The cogitator wheezes and blinks, clearly trying to shut down. Attempt emergency repair. The cogitator whirs and the screen turns back on. One of the first structures of Footfall was the colossal statue of the Emperor. A whole asteroid was used for the creation of this sculpture, but even its titanic proportions cannot convey the awe that every faithful servant of the Imperium feels before the Master. The statue is the center of Footfall in the same way that the Emperor is the center of the heart of the Imperium. As construction progresses, new, small asteroids are being attached to the statue, their surface serving as a foundation for glorious palaces and temples, and their inner tunnels as home for the commoners and rabble. Posthumous Dwayne's design. The cogitator flickers and grunts before displaying a tapestry of text. This great posthumous Dwayne intends to conquer the Chronix expanse and builds the most grandiose structure which will shine through the ages, praising the names of its creator and its descendants. Grandiose structure? Grandiose, what the hell? Footfall, the palace in the stars, the glory of the great posthumous deeds will live on throughout the ages, and his grand designs. The cogitator hisses and grunts as it tries to clean its insides by spewing out dust and detritus through its cracks. The cogitator hisses for a while, then the screen flickers and once more shows the words, Great posthumous Dwayne intends to conquer. The spirit of this machine is enraged and will perform its function no more. I will see to it that the profaners responsible for its maintenance are marked for several penance. Oh, that was cool. A little bit of history.
I always have a backup plan.
Nope.
Keep your wits about you.
Man with a face so drawn it appears to be made of nothing but skin and bone fixes his unblinking bird-like eyes on you. The priest's simple black clothes have next to no adornments. They do nothing to mask his unhealthy gauntness. In a cracked voice he says, "The Emperor protects." The Emperor protects, Reverend. But he protects only those who are pure of heart. Do you think yourself one of them? Be leery of this conviction of yours. Many who have risen to the pinnacle of faith have fallen from its embrace of pride most degenerate. And you must be the young Von Valentius. That name carries weight, and it is a burdensome one. For its reputation suggests that Theodora encumbered it with many a transgression. I wonder, will you seek to shed them, or will you carry them onward, picking them along the way like ripe fruit and savoring their sweet poison? I have heard many exalt the deeds of your intellect and call your wisdom a gift from the Emperor himself. Fools, do they not know that the seeds of heresy sprout quickest in an enlightened mind? Understanding only erodes the will to act. You're saying Theodora was a transgressor? A woman of great gifts, but few considered virtue to be one of them. People whispered that power had corrupted her, made her believe that she was entitled to anything she wanted. It is known that she showed cordiality to Xenos, broke taboos, and violated dogmas. Then again, so do nearly all rogue traitors. So how do you know who I am? The Emperor has blessed me with acute hearing, and the people did the rest. How many members of your crew do you think came to confess the moment they arrived in port? How long do you suppose it took me to piece together the truth from their words? The priest's voice is rasping and harsh, but you still manage to pick up a strange change in tone. There is something hidden behind this shift in speech. something that he did not consider necessary to explain. Rogue traders are the Emperor's anointed. I act as his command, as evidenced by his signature on my warrant. And did he grant you personally? The Emperor has entrusted his servants with the future of humanity, but people are too weak and flawed to prove themselves worthy of his trust. Only suffering can cleanse us, but we fear it and thus remain sullied. I put my faith in the Emperor. He gives you a scrutinizing look, then his tone softens. We'll then be twice as diligent, for this sector will seize any chance to test your faith. He looks at Argenta, who is standing nearby, and his voice softens slightly. Greetings, sister. I congratulate you on your return. Was your pilgrimage fruitful? It was. Reverend, let it be known to you that Theodora von Valencia's ship was attacked by servants of the archenemy, who appalled the heart of any righteous soul, she says, nearly hissing with fury. Not all of them met a fitting end. Some fled, and more than that, their blasphemous words clearly pointed to this attack being part of a larger design. Reverend Hieronymus, I wish to join the esteemed rogue trader's crew and help protect the von Valencia's dynasty from the forces of the archenemy. I am divesting myself of the responsibility of guarding the Footfall reliquary. Sister Argenta stood by my side during the assault on the ship, and I could use her assistance going forward. Follow the call of your soul, sister. The Footfall reliquary will be preserved even without your contribution, as it was in all the years preceding your arrival. I know what it is that caused you to follow the rogue trader, Sister Argenta. You seek combat, for it helps you forget how hollow and worthless our lives truly are. It offers the illusion of meaning. Perhaps you will relinquish the illusion one day, or perhaps you will die before that day comes. Regardless, I wish you luck on your new path. But before you start on a path towards your new destiny, I have a request to make of you and your companion. Many among my flock are from the poorest, most dispossessed people on Footfall. They've brought me troubling news from Footfall's shadow quarters. In the darkest corners where the Liege's wardens do not venture, taint has taken root. Footfall is consumed by profanity. But even here, true heresy serving the archenemy is a rarity. The cultists who now dwell in the Shadow Quarter mark their abodes with the sun inscribed in blue and gold, and perform strange rituals in secret. The weak find solace in believing these reports to be rumors, but I well know that evil lurks all around us, and I wish to see retribution. I come across heresy surprisingly often these days. Indeed, dark times are upon us, and wretched souls grow even more eager to embrace heresy. Both on Footfall and elsewhere, its foul buds are coming into bloom. Troubling news is arriving from many planets. There are whispers of wicked things taking place on Kiava Gamma, and just recently, a transport ship by the name of Navica, teeming with refugees, arrived on Footfall through Winterscale's realm. Their world was stricken with blasphemous sedition, and such was its severity that they had to flee to save themselves. The Liege refused to accept them, and so they headed for Foulstone, a desolate cloister of the righteous. It was wise of them not to linger in this den of vileness. Why don't you go to the Liege with this matter? I do not walk the paths pleasing to the Liege. Hieronymus frowns. Ladame is weak and riddled with worms on the inside. He seeks to please his Hezbalicum masters, those peddlers of relics under the unholy Xenos. We will verify this rumor, Reverend Hieronymus. With great pleasure. Jinta puts her hand on the stock of her weapon. I almost wish for the rumor to be true. My heart yearns to battle some heretics. This is where I bid you goodbye, sister. Noble Selena Voidstar, is there more you wish to ask me about? What are you doing on Footfall? What am I doing in this den of blasphemers, pagans, and the vilest of souls, you mean to say? Well, Footfall is the first and last stop in the Coronis Expanse. It is the point of arrival for those who have started on their path, and is also where those who are reaching its very end return. Their souls, wounded and bleeding, I embrace both former and the latter, so that they may be cast an honest eye over their impurity. Furthermore, rumors from across the entire sector amass in Footfall. If I hear crewmen whispering about a reclaimed Shine world, or expressing desire to carry the Emperor's light into the darkness among the stars, I help my flock in their sacred duty. Devoted trailblazers need assistance, both spiritual and material. Tools, equipment, even garments and simple everyday items, anything that might help pilgrims on their long journey. And during the first days of the harsh frontier life is worth its weight in gold to us. And may any help you offer to the effort of gathering such things be blessed. The path of true believers leads into darkness, to search for worlds that have lost his radiance. Steeped in depravity, blessed are the deeds of those who give themselves into the void and the warp in hopes of that their actions might bring light into the darker reaches of the expanse and deliver a previously barren world into the Imperium's service. Hieronymus is silent for a few seconds, and all the more bitter is the realization that not all brave souls will succeed in their mission. Footfall still awaits news from the Wasteland Wayfarer, an ancient ark of a ship headed for distant stars. Her last astropathic message was sent from beyond the Cinerus Maleficum, and the stars have kept their fate secret since. I bear another darker duty. The expanse is filled with the tainted creations of unholy heretics. These insidious objects are a danger to the soul, but I know what to do with them. Should you in your travels come upon dangerous, corrupted objects, bring them to me. The reward for your vigilance will be even more generous. The Drusian mission has much to share with the rogue trader. I'd like to take a look at what the followers of St. Drusus have to offer me. Let me see. I have a question about faith. My servant planted the seed in the heart of another rogue trader once, Incendia Corda. Perhaps you are destined to become my second fledgling. Tell me more about the Emperor. You think it's so easy to put into words his essence and splendor? The Emperor is the perfect deity that reads our hearts and grants us his light. He led humanity out of the darkest hour horror. He created our great home. He experienced torment and pain which only made him stronger. That is a lesson to us all. Purity is not to be found at the bottom of the dirtiest hive-board golden palaces, but only among the ranks of those who suffer. Argenta silently makes the sign of Aquila, her bright eyes burning with unyielding flame. What is the proper way to worship the Emperor? Pray to him, destroy his enemies, and touch not their poisoned gifts. Cast aside all doubt and be vigilant against the weak souls beside you. When you see a sign of taint, burn it away without pity. Pain is good. It tears the crust of violence from one's soul. Tears. And remember that if you see no fault in you or around you, then you are not being diligent enough in your search. Or you are being too lenient on yourself, averting your eyes from the truth. The Emperor's servants, who are they? You speak of the Adeptus Ministorum? Well, these heralds of his word hold great power. Every priest, myself included, is part of the hierarchy, and the ecclesiarchy possesses the unique right to judge what is virtuous and what is malign. The Adeptus Ministorum prays and cares for the temples. It sends missions such as my own to every corner of the dominion and humanity. It fights against the heresies. I really want to do that because that's what I've been doing, but may the Emperor bless his faithful servants. You think that his mercy extends that far? I have seen many who wish to be our shepherds. Power clouds their vision, and their greedy hands scoop up all that they can reach. The ecclesiarchy is long overdue for a cleansing. Many would consider your remarks about the ecclesiarchy to be heretical, and many others would find them truthful. I am a preacher of a radical teaching that renounces fear. I have left the bounds of the blessed Imperium to carry his light into the darkness of the frontier. I've come to know depravity firsthand, and am now able to perceive it under any guise. I think I can afford myself a modicum of truth. Who is the enemy of the Imperium? It has three faces. The inhuman Xenos, who wish death upon us simply because they are unlike us. The pitiful subhuman mutants, abominations that wish death upon us because they envy us and are ashamed of themselves. And the arch-enemy that reigns in the Immaterium, which wishes death upon us by its very nature. The ear starts giggling at Hieronymus' words. He forgot to mention people like me. My whole life people have told me I'm built on the space of humanity. It's poison. It's bane. She stops abruptly with a sob. Tell me about Incendia Chorda. Man, cat! Tell me about Incendia Chorda. Have you heard the Aspis Corda, pirate, blasphemer, xenophile, and Agracious apostate? Incendia is her heir, a rarity among world traders. The protection of the Holy Warrant typically leads to the swift atrophy of conscience and pious dread, but not in Incendia's case. She relentlessly hunts down pirates and firebrands and brings rebelling colonies to repentance, establishing strict discipline. The weight of her wrath is great indeed. The colonists she punishes are girded with orbital rings of heretical corpses as a warning to the survivors. As her personal confessor and guide, I find no end to the joy of her triumphs in bringing me. Since when is orchestrating massacre a sign of virtue? They aren't massacres. This is a war on apostasy and treason, and in this war, Incendia Corda is inflicting grievous wounds upon the wicked. Thank you for your explanations. Think nothing of it. Now tell me about yourself. Neither my past nor present holds any secrets, but take heed when gazing into my heart, for many dark thoughts lurk within. And what is troubling your heart? Bad omens. Dark times have come. Ships from the Imperium barely appear in the Cronus Expanse anymore. In Footfall shadow quarters, taint thrives, and the people here are corrupt enough to succumb to it gladly. Rumors around the Expanse say that the accursed Xenos have grown bold and are rearing their heads. They attack ships and settlements, walk under the suns of Imperium worlds like kings instead of cowering in the shadows. What's next? What adversities await us if such disgrace is happening? He shakes his head sternly. There's more and more talk of how poorly things are going in the Expanse. Some days it seems I can't take 2 steps without hearing some peasant pontificating on the matter. If it is as dire as they say, the Von Valencius realm will not crumble under the blows of fate, no matter how devastating. Chin up, Lord Captain. This is no time to lose heart and lament your lots. Not only is your hope false, it is also dangerous. Among his service there have been people of greater integrity who sullied themselves in their attempts to rise above the rest. And who were you in the past? A wretched fiend, blinded by my ambitions, I've served in my home planet's Adeptus Administratum Division. I was a shrewd and sly bureaucrat, and I soared to great heights, to the very chair of prefect. In 30 years, I turned my home from a withered fringe colony to a prosperous world. Our wealth grew as we bloomed. But the bloom was a veneer for rot. Opulence had depraved us, and luxury seduced us with sordid promises. The planet's citizens no longer wished to pray or work. They only sought entertainment and dangerous philosophies. 1,000 vile heresies and 1,000,000 appalling vices bred on my world like mold on a Nutribar. In those days, I saw with my own eyes the shameless ugliness of the soul. I repented my hubris, left the position of prefect, and became a traveling missionary. I have been one ever since. As for my world, 20 years later, the Holy Inquisition consigned it to purifying flames. The Emperor is merciful for allowing you a chance at redemption. Who said I had redeemed myself? I doomed an entire planet to degeneracy. You think a decade or 2 wandering with a mission is enough to atone for that? No, I am a poor excuse for a shepherd in his eyes. Your words about the past are drowned in murky hues of sickly green, and you talk of the present falls in gray flakes of ash upon the shoulders of your listeners. Sorrow, truth weighs heavily on you, Reverend Hieronymus, and that is why the fire in your words is devoid of golden radiance. The faded flickers of teachings leave nothing but black soot on their souls. Wow, that was mean. Got no more questions about that? I'm surprised you had any to begin with. I must take my leave. The Emperor protects. Alright, so...
Is there money to be made?
This is the way I went.
Rise to the top, or get left.
Rogue Trader, I would like to remind you about Reverend Hieronymus' request. He has to search for a potential cultist in Footfall Shadow Quarters. You seem weighed down by something. What? No. Apologies, Rogue Trader. Being here on Footfall it's difficult for me. It's a minor personal weakness, but I'm ready to fight as ever. It will have no effect on my combat skills. If something is troubling you, tell me. Perhaps I can help. I suppose I could share with you, but the tale will be long, and I will have to start from the beginning. I wasn't born in the Expanse. I was sent here to be a guardian of a reliquary on Footfall, but my ship became caught in a warp anomaly, and although it lasted only days for those on board, decades had flown by in real space. When at last I arrived on Footfall, it felt like I had been erased from time. No one was waiting for me on this side of the mall. The people who were supposed to greet me, who knew about my imminent arrival, had died. The reliquary that should have been mine to safeguard had instead been taken under the protection of Reverend Hieronymus and his brethren. They were more than up to the task. They had no need of my help. Footfall became my cage. I didn't know who I was or what purpose I had here. The way back to Calixtus seemed like another trap. Even if I were to find a ship headed there, my sector, my order, they too would have lived decades without me by that point. Whenever I'm reminded about those months spent on Footfall, it feels like I'm falling into a pit. I hope the rumors of cultists turn out to be true. I can't wait to prove with my bolter that the world and the Imperium need me. How and why did your stay on Footfall come to an end? Something must have changed. Yes, a sign, almost a portent, showed me the right path, but it's not something I can speak on like this on the street in this den of malice. Let's be on our way. All I'll say is that on Footfall I met Lady Theodora and joined her, and that was the end of my languishing in this place. You know Footfall better than me. Do you think any rumors of heretics are true? There was a time when I'd have said that it was likely a fabrication. One can say many things about Kazbalika Mission and the other shady operators on Footfall, but even those thugs are loyal to the Emperor, and so they mercilessly exterminate outright heretics in the territory. But now, heretics have launched an open attack on a rogue trader's ship. A member of your dynasty, Conrad Voidfear, has turned out to be one of them. And Footfall itself is sinking deeper and deeper into madness. In these times of strife, I'm willing to believe in heretics who openly perform their dark rituals and brazenly mark their dens with sacrilegious symbols. Alright, let's keep going. Alright.
Acquisition is possible.
Rising sun symbol. It seems oddly repulsive, even sinister. Okay. Alright, so with that, that's where we're going to stop for today. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I'm having a little bit of difficulty with some of the reading right now. I have a little bit of a head cold going through our Alabama winter, which is 80-degree weather, then it rains, then it gets down to 20s and 30s, and then by 3 days later it's back up to 80, then it rains, so yeah. And I have really bad sinuses and always screws with me, so yeah. Anyway, enough about that. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you do like what you see, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It means a lot, helps the channel grow, and I do appreciate it. Until next time, love you guys. Hope to see you again soon. Take care, and I will talk to you later. Bye for now.